Interstate RVer Show with your host, Interstate RVer. Alright folks, Interstate RVer here. Woo! Finally got things fixed up. I'm back on the road. And it was a pretty, I ain't gonna lie about it. I mean, I got shook up on that deal. And it wasn't the elements, being cold. It wasn't the, about even being broke down. It was the idea that I was pretty much in a town where there wasn't any other towns around for about 25 or 30 miles, and nobody in that town would look at my vehicle. They didn't want to work on motorhomes. And I mean, so I had to get the old phone out and start, and borrow a phone book and try to find somebody. Luckily, my insurance company found somebody. So that was pretty good. So we'll have more on that later. But let's get right to it. Let's get to the rest of it. The rest of it. All right, got to be a little quieter than usual here because I'm behind a shopping mall on the back, and there's a lot of truck drivers, so we're kind of hidden back here, and it's real quiet, and nobody's got their trucks running, so it's really they're sleeping, so I got to be a little bit more quiet. I'll try to. All right, let's get right to it. Number one, let's see. You hear this a lot. You hear this on the news all the time. People always making a big deal of it. It says here, the heroic employee decided to blow the whistle on his employer's corrupt investment firm. The rest of it? When they refused to pay him the hush money. Hey, right out of the gate. Okay. All right, let's get to number two. You hear this too much. You always hear this on the news. It says, government officials said that the automaker has agreed to voluntarily recall 1 million defective automobiles. The rest of it? So they won't have to fix the other 15 million shit boxes. I like that one. That's a pretty good one. All right. All right, the big finish on that. The big finish. This one here. Now, like when I lived in Las Vegas, I mean, you'd hear this all the time. Read it in the paper, hear it on the news, hear it on the street. Guys saying it all the time. It says here, I kissed a frog and it turned into a young, beautiful princess. The rest of it? And that's how she got in my room, Your Honor. That was worth coming back for. All right. Okay. Well, that's it. Let's see what else we got in store. The Interstate Way. You hear a lot of these days about people wanting to save electricity and stuff, so they're going out in their motorhomes and they're spending $15, $20 for one of these LED light bulbs. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, come on, you could buy 2 boxes of regular light bulbs for that. Well, let me show you what the Interstate RVer does. Right here, I like to sit by with these nice little candles, votive candles they call them. You just take the little tea light there, light it with the old trusty lighter, let it get going good. There we go. Set it in there. I kind of drop it in there. Gets going like that. Leaves a nice, if this was dark, you'd see how nice it looks and everything like that. And there it goes. Put on a little Jimi Hendrix, a little Led Zeppelin. Sit back with a couple of tasty brews, and you're mellow as can be. So remember, stop wasting money. Get mellow today because you're A-OK doing it the Interstate way. Interstate RVer's News Update. Well, like I said, the motorhome it turned out to be the fuel pump. For the first couple of weeks, I was able to limp around about 30 miles an hour, and I went to the auto parts store and they ran my the computer diagnostic thing on it, and they gave me the printout of the codes. So I went over them with a fine-tooth comb. So I had the engine cover off, had the doghouse off, and I was underneath there with voltmeters and all that, doing things. And the more I checked it, the more apparent it was going to be the most expensive thing that could go out, and that was the fuel pump. And that was right at $400 just for the pump, and $200 and something to put it on. But it came out to about, I figured it just about right to the dollar. You know, I mean, the pump was $100 more than what I expected, because they had to go through 6 or 7 different pumps before they actually got the one that fit, because motorhomes are different. They have different things in them when they come off the line, because the manufacturer of the motorhome sometimes changes things. And that's why a lot of guys don't want to work on motorhomes, outside of the fact they can't get them in their building. So I got that done. I was able to sell some stuff. I didn't really want to sell, but I did, and I was able, and of course I had my little refund check we talked about from the auto parts from when I put the brakes on, and was able to extend the payment on the motorhome, and you know, and I made it. And like I said, there for a while I thought I was going to lose this motorhome. I had visions of me getting a U-Haul truck and loading it up with my stuff and leaving this on the side of the road. You know, good thing my bank doesn't watch the show or don't know about it, or else they'd be thinking twice about that extension. But no, I mean, I never see anything like that. And I'm going to be honest. You know, it doesn't really matter where you're at. I mean, I could have been broke down right in front of my old apartment. Well, I wouldn't have known anybody there, because I don't know who moved in and took it. But anyway, it doesn't matter where you're at. All I know is this, and we'll talk about it later on as time goes by. You know, that town that I broke down in, it was about 50 miles from where I grew up, and we used to play them in sports in high school. I tell you what, that town sucked when I was in high school, and it sucks still to this day. I mean, that town stinks. My bank, a branch of my own bank was in there. The branch of my own bank was there. I've been a member of that bank for 15 years. All I asked him, I said, hey, I don't even know how much it's going to cost. I think it's going to cost about $700 or $800. Just cover me for $300. I said, I'm going to sell this stuff. I said, I got this in my set, which I didn't want to sell it. I offered it to him. I said, I got, you know, some gold coins and stuff. You know, I said, if I go sell them, I'm going to get half, which is what I got, half of what they were worth. And I said, use it as collateral. Here, take them. And then I got $200, $250 coming in on this rebate check. I said, and I said, you got my bank account, my savings account, and my checking. I said, just cover me. Let me go down there with my debit card, and if I'm short, just cover me. You know, $300 is all I was asking. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. I mean that's unreal. That is simply unreal. You know, and you know, I mean, I don't know what to say about it, except that bank sucks too. And if it wasn't for the idea that I had everything in it, it would take me a ton more time to do everything, because I do everything online, and they've got everything there that I'm used to doing, I'd leave them. But, you know, I don't know. Good thing I don't have to talk to nobody anymore. It wouldn't do any good to complain, because, you know, they probably just laugh about it anyways. Hey, that guy with the RV, he was stuck on the parking lot for 3 weeks out there. Yeah, you know, well, you know, the hell with them. And the hell with that town. That town stinks. So, they ain't doing them no good. They don't care, because they don't know what town I'm talking about. But anyway, that's how that goes. So, the only good thing that turned out is, well, it wasn't a good thing. Where I really got running out of money is that I got down there, and they had the fuel tank out, and with all the rigmarole with the fuel pumps trying to find one that matched, it became late, and they had to close. They offered to give me a electrical hookup. I said, no, I don't need it, because it wasn't supposed to get cold. And I got up like about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, and it was like you could see your breath. I don't mean it was like, you know, just a little bit. I mean, it looked like I was smoking. And I thought, well, you know, there ain't nothing I can do now. I can't start the generator, can't start the engine. The batteries don't have enough to run the furnace. So there I go. I had to walk down to the corner. I didn't know where I was at. It was a nice town, though. I am going to go back to that town. That is going to be my northern outpost. That is where I'm going to go in the summertime. I love that town. That town was great. Salem, Illinois. Salem, Illinois. And that is really the coolest town. I mean, I walked the whole thing. It's about as big as the town I grew up in, but they got like a million things more. I mean, all kind of fast food joints and restaurant, and that mechanic was good over there. He did a good job. They got that one hotel. I had to walk 8 blocks. 8 blocks to this. I walked about 3 blocks, and there was a couple of guys that were truck drivers, and they were sitting there you know, they were loaded, you know, and I walked by and I said they told me, the mechanics told me here that there's a Casey's or something down here, you know, that's, I don't know if you guys know what that is. That's like a convenient, like a 7-Eleven and type deal, and they got the gas station signs where they got the diesel fuels in green and the regular fuels in red, digital. Then that guy goes, down there. And I was looking down there. I was like, that way down there? And he goes, yeah. He goes, see that sign? I said, I thought it was a traffic light. He goes, no. He goes, keep on walking. He goes, you'll find it. And I guess about 3/4 of a mile later, you know, down a highway. And the good thing is that by the time I walked in, I was shivering. I didn't think I was going to get a hotel room. What I was going to do is just go in there and give him my story, and then I was going to kind of hang around out back in the storage places. And as I got cold, I would keep coming in and going out. But I told the checkout girl there my story, and she felt bad, so she looked up the hotels on there, and there was one there for $40 a night. And it just so happens there was a guy that pulled up in a brand new Camaro, and I guess he lived in the area, and she knew him, and he gave me a ride to the hotel. It was like a mile. I had no idea where I was at because I didn't, you know, I mean, I Google Mapped some of the deal when I was looking for the mechanic, but I wasn't able to do that then because I had no Wi-Fi. And so I stayed there for a couple of nights. That was a pretty cool hotel. I stayed there for a couple of days. Got drunk as hell. I needed 2 days there, man. Woo! But I'll tell you what, I got loaded. I haven't got smashed like that in 3, maybe 4 days. But buddy, I needed it. I mean, that was it. Yeah, it was pretty nice. Sit there and watched TV all night. Watched some cop shows and some other stuff, and I just had a pretty good old time until I got the bill, you know, for the cabs and everything. But still, it was less than $100. But that's $100 I didn't need to spend. But you know, it got cold, so what, you know, it was just one thing after another. So I made a mad dash. Oh, and then the thing is, with my refund check, the woman at the bank was making me stay there until it came in so I could sign it. So I thought it'd be in like in about 3 days. It took like 12 days. And I finally went to the manager and I said, you know, do I have to stay here and sign this? I said, why can't you just deposit it in my account? You know, she said, how much is it? I said, $250. She goes, oh yeah, we can do that. But the check had already came, and so I did it. And then I made a mad dash for back home, about 50 miles. So then when I got down there back home, I had to stay there overnight because I needed to go to the doctor and get my prescriptions refilled. So I got all that done, and then I needed my driver's license. So I thought, well, I'm not going to do it in this town because, you know, the post office box place, the mail receiving place is right next door to them. So they would see that address and they would know it was a thing. So I went to the next town, or next 3 towns over, and got in there. Man, it was boom, like that. It was like 15 minutes, and I had my brand new license and everything like that. And that new address, it's engraved in stone now. I mean, it's solidified because it's part of the driver's license now. So I got that done. And I thought, man, this is really going smooth. So I got there to the pharmacy, went to the pharmacy, picked up the medicines. I was like, all right, got them in there, started putting them in the drawer. A big label on the bottle that says, you know, we owe you 90 tablets. We owe you this many tablets, stuff like that, because I got 3 months supply. So I went, you know, that way I don't have to come back till March when it's warm. And so I thought, you know, you can't write this stuff. This is enough of this. So I got in the old RV. I told the farmers, I said, there's something you can do? He goes, yeah. He goes, we could have something here by 4 o'clock. I was like, oh, good. Then, you know, it gets dark about 5:30, whatever it does. And I said, the hell with this. So I got on the highway and I just drove. And, buddy, I didn't stop till I hit Arkansas. And that's where I'm at right now. Arkansas, I'm going all the way down. I'm going to shack up here for about 4 days, save some gas money. And the rig's running good. It's running real good. And I'll be here for about 4 days. We got the thunderstorm from hell coming in. That's about maybe 3 or 4 hours away. Hopefully won't have any problems with that. And then I'll head on down. I'll probably be going down. I'm not going to stay in Memphis. Well, yeah, I will stay in Memphis. That's right. They got 4 truck stops there. So I'll be staying in Memphis and in Mississippi. And then I don't know. I guess I'll hang out in Florida or something and go back and forth until I decide what to do. And what I need to do is come up with some scratch. I need to find somebody that's willing to pay on a cash basis. Maybe I'll just tell them, say, hey, man, you pay me cash, I'll work for $2 an hour less. But yeah, why not? Works for some people. But yeah, so that's the news there. And but this time it's like I'm done. I'm on the road. I don't have to go back no more. Don't have to go back to Illinois no more. Arkansas, and I just gonna keep on booking. It was kind of weird when I was here last night. I was like, man, I don't have to be anywhere. I don't have to go back. I mean, I got to be places, but I mean, I don't have to go back to Illinois for any more stuff. Not till March when it gets warm or whatever, and I go up to the Southern Outpost, Salem, Illinois. I like that little town. I'm gonna get that same hotel room again. All right, and that's that. So that's the update. Now let's get on to the next deal. Joke of the day. All right, I'll tell you a good one. This guy stops in this town, probably the same town I was in. He stops in his town and he doesn't have a watch, and he needs to know what time it is because he's got to be someplace for an appointment. So he's walking up and down the street, and he sees this old guy, sitting against the wall, and he got this big old bloodhound on him, his dog. And the guy goes up to him. He goes, "Hey, mister," he goes, "can you tell me what time it is?" And the guy goes, "Yeah." So he goes, "Come here, boy." So he picks the dog up and lifts the dog up like this and goes like this over his head, and then puts the dog back down. He goes, it's 1:45. And that guy, got upset because he's got to get to his appointment. He ain't got time to be jacking around. So he tells the guy, he goes, "Look," "Look, old man," he goes, "all I want to know is the time." He goes, "You mean to tell me that you're going to be able to tell me you can tell the time by lifting that dog over your head?" He goes, "You expect me to believe that?" And the guy goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You'd be able to do it too." He goes, "Yeah, well, show me how you can tell time like that." So the guy takes his dog, lifts him up over his head again, and the old man goes, "See that clock over there on the wall?" All right, folks, that's the show for this week. Interstate RVer here. Man, been a tough 3 weeks. I'm sorry about not having to put the shows up, but I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off, and and didn't have internet access, and so that was that. So, like I said, usually there's a new show every Thursday, but well, sometimes there's not. But there will be. And there will be. Well, like I said, if any events happen, I'll try to keep you updated. But let's have no more of that, man. Whew, no more problems like that. Hopefully. All right. So I'll see you next week, toughies. And remember, you're A-okay doing it the interstate way. I'll see you next week. Over and out. Keep a stiff upper lip, and don't give up the ship. Interstate RVer. Over and out.